Near a small village named Vishnupur, where the green forest gently embraced peaceful rooftops, lived a boy named Rugov. He wasn't the most outstanding in the village, not exceptionally talented or wealthy, but Rugov was always well-loved for his honesty, hard work, and kind heart. Yet, something quietly gnawed at his soul, a habit he couldn't shake. Rugov constantly compared himself to others. Whenever he saw his classmate Karen, always at the top of the class with excellent grades, Rugov felt a pang of sadness. I wish I were as smart as him. When he passed by the home of his wealthy and successful neighbor Sidar, he sighed. If only I were as rich as him. Even seeing someone run swiftly down the village path made Rugov yearn. I wish I could be that strong and fast. These thoughts seemed harmless at first, but over time, they drained Rugov of his self-confidence. He started losing focus on his studies, lost interest in his daily tasks, and a quiet voice inside began whispering, "You'll never be good enough." One quiet afternoon, while Rugov sat under a forest tree, lost in restless thoughts, he heard a village rumor. An old saint had arrived. The villagers praised this wise man as someone who could light the path for those who had lost their way in life. Rugov, clinging to a fragile thread of hope, decided to meet him the next morning. Standing before the elder with white hair, calm eyes, and a face that radiated peace, Rugov didn't hold back. With a heavy voice, he confessed, "Sir, I always try my best, but every time I see someone better, richer, or more successful, I feel small and discouraged. I don't know how to stop. It's wearing me down. I'm starting to lose faith in myself." The saint gazed at Rugov with gentle understanding and said softly, "Tomorrow morning, when the sun rises, go to the oldest tree in the village. There, you will find your answer." The next day, as the first golden rays of sunlight streamed through the trees, Rugov arrived at the ancient tree. The saint was already there, standing silently as if part of the forest. He pointed to the surroundings and said, "Look carefully at this forest. What do you see?" Rugov looked around and replied, "Sir, I see many different trees. Some are tall, some short. Some bear lots of fruit, others just leaves. No two are the same." The saint nodded, pleased. "Now imagine the mango tree growing sad because it isn't tall like the coconut tree, or the coconut tree feeling inferior because it doesn't produce sweet fruit. Would that make sense?" Rugov smiled. "No, that would be silly. Each tree serves its own purpose." The saint's smile deepened. "That is the truth of life. The forest is beautiful because each tree is different and lives its purpose. So do people. You're not meant to be Karen or Sidar. You are Rugov, and that alone is enough." Though Rugov felt lighter, doubt still lingered in his mind. The saint, sensing this, led him to a small, crystal-clear pond nestled in the woods. Fish swam gracefully beneath the surface, while birds soared freely above. He pointed to them and asked, "If a fish were to lament that it couldn't fly like a bird, would that be fair?" Rugov shook his head. "Of course not. Fish are meant to swim, birds are meant to fly." The saint gently added, "Then why do you long to be someone else? You, too, have strengths that others don't. The problem isn't what you lack, but what you fail to see within yourself." At that moment, something lit up inside Rugov, a deep realization. For so long, he had lived under the shadow of others, forgetting that he, too, had his own light. From that day forward, Rugov stopped comparing himself. He began focusing on his own abilities, improving a little each day. Slowly but surely, he rebuilt his confidence and learned to be patient with himself. Each step, though small, was filled with purpose. Years passed, and Rugov's persistence bore fruit. He built a thriving business, helped many people, and became a figure of inspiration in his village. When people asked him about the secret of his success, Rugov never spoke of talent or luck. Instead, he smiled and said, "Never compare yourself to others. If a fish tries to fly, it will always fail. But if it masters swimming, it can rule the ocean. And then he added a simple but profound truth. The sun and the moon don't shine at the same time, but each has its moment of brilliance. So do you.